bolt of power just absolutely decimate our opponents. Very good game. Look at that Firestorm Tornado going into the card. Oh, it's gorgeous. 85 damage to everything. GG. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is all about drawing as many cards as possible, making as much treasures as possible, and defeating our opponents in a very stylish manner. We are going to achieve this with Smothering Tithe, this amazing 4-mana enchantment, which whenever your opponent draws a card, you gain a treasure unless they pay 2. This in combination with a bunch of different draw spells that either target our opponent or ourselves, ramp through to as much mana as possible and win out of one of 3 ways. One is with Crackle with power, so when you have a stupid amount of treasures, you can pump it all into Crackle with power and just smack your opponent for a ridiculous amount of damage, like you're going to see in this video today. The other way is with Revel and Riches, so at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 10 or more treasures, you just simply win the game. And the third is with Dream Trawler. Dream Trawler is going to come down, you're going to be drawing an insane amount of cards, pumping Dream Trawler up, gaining as much life as possible, either to stall out the game long enough so that you can actually find the other pieces, or just flat out winning sometimes, like you're going to see in the video. We are going to achieve all of this treasure creation with Commit Memory, as well as Emergency Powers, both cards which shuffle both your hand and graveyard in, and you and your opponent draw 7 cards. You can see the combo, so your opponent's drawing 7 cards, and even if you only have 1 Smothering Tithe on the battlefield, you're going to create 7 treasures, draw through to a fresh hand. And honestly, it happens a lot that you're going to draw through to the cards that make you draw more cards, or make your opponents draw cards and make treasures. If you have multiple copies of Smothering Tithe down on the battlefield, like you are going to see in the video as well, you can play a Secret Rendezvous. You and your opponent are going to draw 3 cards, you're going to create 9 treasures, and then just sort of combo off. We have 4 Doomskars, 2 Settle the Wreckage in here as well, just to stall out the game as much as possible. Really do hope you enjoy the video. If you do, please let me know with a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you're new, as these videos tend to get a lot more views than they do subscribers. But without further ado, let's just get straight into the games. We are going first. Slightly unfortunate on the land base there. Go ahead and mulligan into a much nicer looking hand. So now we run the risk, I was going to say we run the risk of, do we keep draw spells or do we keep board wipes, but I think it's always better to keep a board wipe just in case, because I mean, drawing an extra card is great and all, but losing the game because we can't wipe the board tends to be a little bit worse. Against Tech 17, off to a decent start. Hopefully he isn't too fast of a deck, though who am I kidding, it's going to be green-white life gain, isn't it? Yes. Yes, it is. So definitely glad that I kept the board wipe right there. Though he is off to a little bit of a slower start, I think it's fair to say, because he's just waiting for turn 2 Prosperous Innkeeper. Not gonna board wipe. Don't think it's very advantageous at the moment. And I mean, we have all of the combo pieces in hand. Smothering Tithe into Emergency Power, into Crackle with power. And that's just fantastic, really. This, like, the combo is in hand. It's just a case of, can we live long enough to actually get it going? So I think we start off by Smothering Tithing, or whatever the correct conjugation would be, just so it is in play. Hopefully he doesn't have Skyclave Apparition. Though who am I kidding? He had the Skyclave Apparition.
Heartbroken.
Ouch. My heart. My soul. Can't believe, like, I'm saying, like, oh, I hope he doesn't have Skyclave Apparition as he's playing Skyclave Apparition, bruh. And he's looking for Heliod, he's looking for Scurry Oaks, though he will find none of them, as I'm just going to straight up board wipe out of anger for my Smothering Tithe being exiled. Damn, that's a shame. Go ahead. Don't actually think it's best to foretell this. Brutal Cathar. Cool beans, buddy. Cool beans indeed. So, foretell you, and that's all she wrote. It is kind of looking like Peculiar to run. I mean, it's a good card in general. Oh, it's non-token, so he's just playing that down just to get creatures in play. Thankfully, we do draw through to some more lands. So whenever a player casts at least 2 spells during their own turn, so this is going to be a one and only spell, just so that it doesn't flip the Brutal Cathar, and then we're going to have to discard a card to give this hexproof so that it can't be targeted. Scrying, doing a lot of scrying so far in this game, all to the bottom, which I am not going to complain about. Has another Cathar, because why wouldn't he? Though it is nighttime, so it does not trigger, which is awesome to see. Very, very happy about that one, cannot lie. Let's go ahead and attack, draw through to an additional card. And now the question is, do we want to discard this so that we can play it next turn, or do we just want to board wipe? Just end the turn. Maybe that's a mistake, though we have commit at least if we want to target something just to get it out of the way. Yep, not a problem. We are sort of negating that damage with the Dream Trawler. He doesn't have anything to play, which I'm very happy to see him on that front. Dream Trawler is absolutely clutch card to have in this deck. Fortunately, I was going to say no lands, though there at least is the lands. We can quench something. Not really quite sure how useful that is going to be, though our life is slowly getting out of the danger zone, even though we are taking quite a bit of damage each turn. So we can just drop... I think we just drop this off so we can have it in the graveyard. Play it next turn if we need to, because it is only 6 mana, whereas emergency power is 7. Just very unfortunate that he Skyclave Apparition and actually managed to get rid of our Smothering Tithe. Otherwise, there's a solid chance that we might have won by now. At least we can quench one of his angels away. It is looking like it's going to be board wipe time. Next turn, we'll get the attack in, get the life, and then just board wipe, I think. Yeah, so Crackle with Power can only be played when we have treasures to use it with. I mean, I think there are a few red lands in this deck, though not really sure how often it is super useful. Go ahead and attack. Thankfully, draw through to a Smothering Tithe. So, we are sitting on 13. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there is a chance. You're telling me there's a chance? That's all I need. You're telling me there's a chance to win, and I'm gonna take it. Thank you very much. Of course you're gonna pay. Why wouldn't you? Okay, so at least he can't attack with the Valkyrie, otherwise we are just gonna win. He does need to hold back some blockers. So I am glad that you're actually able to see a couple of different ways that this deck can win. With Smothering Tithe, or with Dream Trawler, Crackle with Power, Revel and Riches, yada yada yada. It is always nice to see. So, the question is, we really just need to get some treasures going so that we can Crackle with Power. Let's give him some cards. This might be enough, because he can pay once for it. Is it actually going to be enough for us to Crackle with Power? I suppose we could get rid of the Valkyrie. That would be a rather spicy way to do it, instead of just going in for the direct win. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to deal 5 damage. So if we do this, we can only actually do it once. Gonna blow up his Righteous Valkyrie, using our win con to get rid of a singular creature to clear the way for us just to smack in for the win. GG Tech 17. GG. I was going first, and we have the worst hand I've ever seen with this deck, so mulligan. Into an okay hand. I'm gonna drop off the Secret Rendezvous because it's not really useful until Smothering Tithe is actually on the battlefield. 2 board wipes in hand against a mono blue deck might not be the greatest. Depends what type of mono blue deck he is. If he's mono blue like Unblockable or the Spirits or something like that, it could work out pretty well. Unfortunately, at the moment we have no way of knowing. Get the Mind Stone down, so hopefully if we do draw through to a 3rd land, Smothering Tithe can hit the battlefield. Works very well against blue decks, because they do tend to have a lot of card draw. Not a mono blue deck. Oracle of the Alpha deck. Yes, sir. You have been watching my other video. I absolutely love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. And I'm just going to take the risk. I don't want to do this now, but I need a land. And look, I'm very glad I did, otherwise we'd have gone 3 turns without drawing that land. But everything in our hand is super expensive now. Mox Jet, love it. I don't even mind if this guy rolls us. I just love seeing the Power 9 in Magic. Play a Black Lotus, my friend. Try not play a Time Walk. play Key to the Archives, amazing card. I do like this combo. I presume he's going to have Displacer Kitten in there, or Ephemerate, or something to help bounce. Either Oracle of the Alpha or Key to the Archive. Drops off a Wrath of God. He's going to get to Scry. I mean, what a gorgeous card is this. If you haven't seen the video, I did make a video last week when this came out, just sort of showing how insanely powerful it is to have the Power 9 put into your library. You know, almost practically infinite turns, really depends how it does play out. In that deck, you know, I have Leah, which I know does exile the spells once you play them against your graveyard, but multiple copies of Primal Amulet, which when it flips into a land can make you copy up and copy up. So, you know, you can like play Time Walk and it doubles because of the Primal Amulet land, and then you can Time Twist, everything gets shuffled back into your library, you draw through to extra turns, etc, 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 etc. He's playing it with Geist Channeler. Choose an instant or sorcery card in your hand with mana value 3 or greater, it perpetually gains 2 less to cast. He is playing with Teleportation Circle. Very nice, very similar to, I mean, I say very similar, but these two cards are a core component of my video, The Archive is Broken, which you also should definitely check out if you are enjoying this channel, based around bouncing this as much as possible until you can approach the second sun for the win. I was going to say I could play Dream Trawler, but I think we need to just try Beyond the Greed play with Smothering Tithe as much as possible. Foretell this. Nice. Thank you very much, my friend. Always happy to see when players appreciate what the opponent is playing. Let's see, he's not going to be paying for either of them. So he obviously, I mean, he's on a lot of mana. He's on 5, 6, 7. He's on 8 mana. So let's go to the formula. Very nice. Seek 3 non-land cards, and then they get 1 less to cast perpetually. Nice. His first turn of hopefully not too many. Let's just see what he does have. Primal Amulet, I mean, definitely should be in his deck. Awesome. The Immortal Sun. Love to see it. Love to see it. Might not be too wise to give this guy a singular turn with a fresh grip of hands, because we're going to be shuffling Time Walk back into his library. Bouncing Key to the Archives makes perfect sense. Thankfully, well, I mean, thankfully he doesn't have any mana on tap, but he's about to take an extra turn, so that's not good. Drops off a board wipe, that is not what he got. Let's just see, hopefully he didn't get Approach of the Second Sun. Kind of on point if he plays Approach of the Second Sun while having the Immortal Sun on the battlefield. Though we do at least have Settle the Wreckage in play now, so we can wipe his creatures out of existence if need be. And I think having 2 down and then emergency powering should be enough if we draw through to Crackle with power. Everything's got power in its name. And I have seen, or, you know, I do understand in decks like this, people often say, why don't you play Narset? Makes sense in a lot of decks, except in ours, because we need our opponents to actually draw cards to get Smothering Tithe to trigger. Otherwise, it is a little bit. Otherwise, it's sort of in there just as a toxic way of trying to get them to concede, because you get rid of their hand and you draw 7, and they don't really know how you win in this deck, so they presume it's going to be some nonsense. Interesting to note how seeking non-land cards doesn't constitute drawing. I mean, I get it's a different word, but you're still drawing them out of your deck. Who knows? So he has a lot of mana. Excuse me, I am not a fan of that, my friend. I need all of the Smothering Tithes humanly possible to win. Second Key to the Archive comes down. It does look like we are actually going to get a turn. Do we care about Settle the Wreckaging? I honestly don't think we really do, because it's just going to eat up the treasures that we need to emergency power. Yeah, I don't really think I care about taking this 5. Just see, he scries to the bottom. Not that it really matters, because everything's going to get shuffled in. He is at least tapped out. Now he's going to get a second copy of the Power 9 into his library. Amazing, amazing card. And let's go to my turn right now. So we do this, that leaves us with 4 mana available. Let's just go ahead and hit it. Hopefully we can get a second Smothering Tithe with this activation. No, though at least can we be super cheeky? Can we possibly win Revel of the Riches wise? Because all we need is 10 treasures. And 7. Oh, we're so close. So, yeah, I think we board wipe now, and we're going to be 1 treasure short from winning. Though he is definitely going to pay for it. Oh no, because, ooh, spicy, spicy. Okay, this is why Revel and Riches is in here, for the time that you might not be able to get the Crackling with Power combo off. This is our second win con, and it works amazingly with board wipes. I'm so sad. I'm heartbroken that he is just desparking that, because that would have been a glorious way to win the game. No, I can't believe he had the despark. I wonder if this is probably the same one that he played before. I guess that's what I deserve for trying to go off with a crazy jank combo and only having 2 real win cons in this deck. At least we have all of the mana, though nothing really in hand to utilize it. He's starting to get all of the Moxes down, double Mox Sapphire and a Mox Jet, collecting them like Pokemon cards. Another Oracle of the Alpha. Hopefully he doesn't, I mean, very good build, but I definitely would recommend adding some way of copying instant sorcery spells and also searching for them, because he has enough mana now that he could search for Time Walk and then just Time Walk. There would be kind of jokes if he time Twisters and gives us a fresh 7 and also a fresh amount of mana. Is he just not wanting to pay because he just doesn't want to pay? That could be the case. Not that he actually needs the mana for anything in particular. Another Oracle of the Alpha comes down. Another set of Power 9. He's now 75 cards in his library. Definitely not milling himself out anytime soon. Let's just see what this guy has in store. He still has a lot of mana available. I don't think he has any Time Walks in hand, otherwise I presume he would have played them by now. Though we do have to Settle the Wreckage his attack his next turn at least, otherwise we are just going to die that way. Such a shame that he got rid of the Revel and Riches. That would have been an incredible way to win this game. Just goes to our turn and, oh, we win. Though he's built this very nicely. He still has enough mana to Time Walk, take extra turns. That is the danger of the Power 9. Even if you only get 1 set of them shuffled into your library, it is more than enough just to be broken enough to win the game, really. Now, I am going to hazard a guess and say that he did get one of the Power 9 draw spells, extra turns or something, though thankfully he does not have any available blue mana to cast them. I stand corrected. Power 9 is broken. You can just play a 3rd Mox Sapphire, and now he has the blue mana to take an extra turn. Nope. So we just still have the mana available. Mox Pearl. Wow, he really is going. Is he only got all 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. He's just missing the Emerald, not the Jets. Misreading the cards. Very nice, very nice, very nice. We've almost gone against all of the Power 9 at the moment, because he's played Ancestral Recall, he's played Time Walk, he's played almost all of the Moxes. All he's missing is Time Twister, Black Lotus, and another one, maybe. I don't know. He's up to 80 cards. So yeah, this, as I said in the video that I made about this card is fantastic, though it isn't really too great if you bounce it too many times, because, you know, if you bounce it, like this guy must have got 5 or 6 copies of the Power 9 into his library, it can kind of mess up your draw ratio, especially if, you know, like he now has, what's it going to be, like 15 different Moxes in his library. Goes to our turn. It goes to our turn. There's a good chance that we don't get it. Another turn. So let's just give him some extra cards. Hopefully that doesn't bite us. Oh, do we actually win now? Finally we get Crackling with Power. Finally. Okay, so he can actually pay for a lot of this. Don't really see why he wouldn't. Okay, buddy. Okay, that might be your mistake. So we can do this for We got 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. He doesn't have any blue mana open. Okay, I think we actually might have got this now. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. We can do this for 7. And I think, just like that, we sit here against a Power 9 deck, taking extra turns, playing all of the Moxes, playing a million things, and it just falls short in comparison to Crackling with Power, the Fire Tornado Lightning Bolt that this deck creates, just to take the win. Let's go, GG. Our opponent is going first, but this is a hand I am definitely going to keep. Early ramp, early counter spells, into Smothering Tithe. Love to see it. It does look like we are going against an elf deck, so board wipes will probably lose. Let's just see. Ooh, you're not elves. I am actually quite happy to see that, to be honest. I think we're going to go for a little bit of the greed play, get Mindstone down, just so we can get Smothering Tithe online as early as possible. He is not elf deck, he is just mono green Stompy, though judging from the fact that he's on 1 land, if we can draw through to a board wipe, he might just concede. I mean, at the moment he cannot pay for Smothering Tithe. I mean, he can. Maybe big brain? That could have been very big brain from you. I'm not entirely sure what to think, to be honest. Just going to go ahead and end our turn. We have Faithful Mending and we have Quench in hand. If he decides not to pay for this, then I was going to say it's going to presume that he actually has something that he's going to try to cast. Unfortunately, no board wipe at the moment. Let's just go ahead, drop off the Quench, not quite sure if it's needed, and drop off a land. Thankfully we can immediately Faithless Mending again, if possible. Oh, very nice to see the Settle the Wreckage there. So, do we go for a slightly greedy play, drop off double lands here? I think we might, because with double Smothering Tithe down, it's what I'm liking to see with emergency power. See, as I was saying, with Faithless Mending, because we have cards that shuffle the graveyard into the library, if you do have them able to play from the graveyard, sometimes it is a little bit better to hold off, just so they can get reshuffled in, and then you maybe have a chance to draw them again and play them again. Let's just see. This guy is being exceptionally unfortunate on his land draws. So, if we go ahead and make him draw 3, we are going to create 6 treasures. We actually might be able to get this combo going a little bit now. Question is, do we want to do that, or do we want a Smothering Tithe? The only risk with a Smothering Tithe is that he might, with the Settle the Wreckage, sorry, is that he might just concede. Though let's just see. We're in this for the spice, right? Let's give him 3 cards. I'm sure he's going to draw through to his lands now. Going to create ourselves a nice bunch of treasures here with Smothering Tithe. We can actually go ahead, drop a 3rd one, which is very nice to see. And do we... I think we just board wipe. Let's play it safe. Hopefully he doesn't just auto concede, because I mean we're not really showing any win con at the moment. We're just making a lot of mana and he's just gonna concede. There we go. Quick game. Let's go on to the next one. We are going first. Very attractive hand just to insta-keep. Multiple draw spells. That is what we are about. Going against Jummy 520. Let's see what this guy is going to be playing. Hopefully not something too insanely aggro. I mean, this deck does handle aggro pretty well from life gain, from Faithless Mending and board wipes. You just have to make sure you do hit the correct cards for that. Oh, he is here. Okay. Very nice. Turn 2. Counter anything that we want to counter, or just draw ourselves through to some more spells. You're looking to be mono white artifacts. Draft a card. Draft a card from Celestial Vault Spellbook, exile it face down for 1 mana, sacrifice Vault. Put each card into your hand. It is a very spicy angel card. I'm sorry, boy. I cannot allow that. That is a very cool card to be running angels. Now, we're going to leave it open. Quench is the only counter spell that we run in this deck, though I do like to see people try to play around our counter spells, because you know, if you have 2 or 3 blue mana open, everybody just sort of thinks you have counters. So, like, for example, he might have had Heliod or a Splendid Angel, and he just chose not to cast it, thinking it was going to get countered. Double Celestial Vault. That's a very cool card. Very cool card indeed. Okay. So, we really do need to hit our land drops now. So, Frantic Inventory. unless we're just very unlucky. There we go, 2 lands. Drop this down. Let's get our board wipe online, because everybody knows we're going to need a board wipe. Nice little combo with Revel and Riches as well, because we run so many board wipes. You know, whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you create a treasure token. Beginning of upkeep, if you control 10 treasures, you win the game. So it is a little unfortunate that we have both win cons in our hand right now. I mean, whenever we inevitably play emergency powers and we shuffle everything back, we should be okay, as long as we can find it again. So see, we have no way of seeing whatever the card is that he's exiled. Sigarda's Splendor, very nice, absolutely fantastic card right there. So, what are we actually gonna do? We need to draw through to Smothering Tithe without a shadow of a doubt. Drop off Crackle with Power, drop off Revel in Riches, because I feel like the Quench could actually come in pretty handy here. So drop this down for white, it seems to be the most prevalent colour that we sometimes need in the deck. And just sit back and see what he's going to play. Draw through to some more cards. I mean, with Smothering Tithe in play, that's where the engine really gets rolling, and it is very much required in order to win with this deck. We run 4, and the amount of draw spells that we have, it really shouldn't be a problem. What is this? Whenever it enters the battlefield, return an opponent you control to its owner's hand. If it's a non-angel creature card, it perpetually gets +1/+1 against flying and becomes an angel. Cool, so he's going to bounce. But it is a 3/4, I don't even know why I'm bothering reading it, I'm just going to counter it. Otherwise he's going to bounce the Soul Warden back to hand, be able to play it, gives it +1/+1 and flying, and also be an angel. Cool card. It's a very, I like this original take on a angel deck, it is quite cool to see. Let's go main phase, Faithful Mending, very much getting good life gain out of this. Now, I'm tempted to drop off the Doomskar, because we already have one Foretold, though a second one always tends to be pretty useful. 3, 4, 5, so we can drop off a land. I think we can... We haven't played a land yet this turn. Let's be a little greedy. Let's ship 2 lands and just hold back the Frantic Inventory. Yep, go ahead and end the turn and see what this man has in store for us. This is a very nice way just to make sure that your hand can stay stocked later on in the game. If you're just sort of top decking, because you have a nice little stack, sacrifice it, put them all in your hand. Voice of the Blessed, very unfortunate that we just can't counter that off the bat. Though as long as he doesn't manage to get, well, he's not going to get it this turn, it does look like board wipe is incoming. Hopefully he just dumps out his hand. He is just going to dump out his hand. I would presume he's going to bounce the Soul Warden and not the Voice of the Blessed. Wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to do that. Very unfortunate on our draws. Nearly, you know, like 20 cards into our deck and no single copy of the 4 that we do have. So, white, let's drop you down and just Doomskar. Say bye to this board state. And do we be a little greedy? I say greedy. It's not greedy, it's just trying to find what we need. Unfortunately, not at all what we need. Drop off the 2 Mind Stones. We have the Dream Trawler, which works very nicely when you can draw a million cards. And 2 more board wipes, which I really feel are going to be key to surviving. This, I might have to board wipe this alone. Once during your turn, play a land from your graveyard or cast a permanent spell with mana 3 or less from your graveyard. If you do, it gets exiled whenever it dies next time. Sort of like a 1 cost more of Lurrus, but for angels, which is very cool. Now, we have emergency powers, we have board wipes. I think... I mean, if I play Dream Trawler down, he isn't going to attack. Can we drop this down? Alright, let's go ahead. Faithless Mending first. This particular game is being very awkward for us. We don't need a second emergency powers, and we don't need another land. We can drop them off. Now, I am quite tempted to hold up and settle the wreckage, which is all that we actually can do at the moment. Just go ahead, foretell both of these. So when you foretell, they technically get put into exile. So when you do cast emergency powers, it doesn't get shuffled back in, which is a nice little way to just to sort of secure board wipes in your hand, because there isn't a guarantee that you are going to draw through to them when you need them. He's drafting a card from his Celestial Vault spellbook. This card is going to be absolutely huge for him once we've board wiped and got everything out of the way, because he's going to have any number of these very nice angel cards, which mainly are rares and mythics. Very, very nice card. Only 1 mana to activate. I might have to build an angel deck with this. It seems pretty cool. He's going for the double. He sees that this is his way to salvation through all the board wipes. So, and we are going to take a bit of damage now, though we are sitting quite comfortably on 28 life. He is going to gain a lot of life now. Angel deck's doing angel things, because he is going to get the Resplendent Angel trigger. Though that is not going to be enough to give it indestructible and to stop this board wipe, though he is on 40 life. Finally, Smothering Tithe, where have you been, my friend? Okay, let's drop you down. What are the odds that he's running Mana Tithe, 1 mana, white, counterspell? I mean, if he does, GG, like, fair play, he's won. Thankfully not, such a weird little card that nobody does tend to run it. Though we are still taking a little bit of smacks, and unfortunately we do get Smothering Tithe down quite late into the game when he does have quite a bit of mana to pay for everything. Though it does look like he is going to want to hold open 2 mana at least to get double activations. He's going to pay for this without a doubt. There we go. Oh, we get double triggers because of his Sagada Splendor. Very nice. It just helps wear him down a little bit. He can Cleric class, and I'm going to presume get back Sarah's Paragon, because that is what allows him to get all the graveyard recursion. Though, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? We can Emergency Powers, get this engine running a little bit. Board wipes in hand. Question being, he is going to tap this. He's never going to be attacking with the Speaker of the Heavens. So, this is a little bit of an awkward one. We get Dream Trawler down, at least we can gain a lot of life when we inevitably cast Emergency Powers. I think that is probably going to be the play. Because if we Emergency Powers now, yes, we'll gain 7 treasures. But that isn't really enough to just try to one-shot him this turn. At least we can set up and gain as much life as we can do. This does look like this is going to be a bit of a slug of a game, because he already has 5 cards in here, 6 including this, so this is going to be huge for him. Thankfully the Smothering Tithe does sort of delay it a little bit. Oh. So I would guess that maybe he doesn't pay for both of them if he wants to try. I mean, he can't get Cleric class all the way through in one go. Though he is paying for them at the moment, he is indeed. Of course, he is going to level up. Create an angel with Speaker of the Heavens, because why would you not, my friend? So yeah, it is a little unfortunate, because if we do board wipe now, he can get something back, and then we've lost the Settle the Wreckage. But that is okay. So this is main phase, right? If you cast a spell during your main phase, you can put a permanent card with mana value 7 or less from your hand onto the battlefield. So let's go ahead, draw 7, get all of the triggers for Dream Trawler. Here are all of our Smothering Tithe, thank you very much. Unfortunately, even if you do drop a second Smothering Tithe from the effect, it doesn't trigger because they've already drawn the cards. Though, we actually are almost able to do this pretty perfectly. So we drop this down, that's going to give us 4 mana that we can... I'm just going to go for it. We need as many Smothering Tithe down as possible. So if we do Emergency Powers now, we get all of the mana. And if we just had enough mana, we could Crackle with power and try to win. So, I mean, I imagine he is going to do all of the blocking with this, but we're going to go attack in. We do need the 12 life. And I was going to say we could discard the commit so we can do the aftermath afterwards. Though, alright, so depending on how he blocks, I'm actually It's a little bit of waste of the treasures, can't lie, but yeah, I think it's worth it. So we keep Dream Trawler around for next turn as well, so we can do this whole shenanigan again and gain ourselves an additional 12, 13 lives, something like that. The deck cannot go technically truly infinite, though it can go to almost forever, really. Because, I mean, every time you cast one of these, it gets exiled, but if it's in the graveyard like this and you emergency powers, it gets shuffled back in. So I think it's 8 times in total, 9 times or something, that you can shuffle everything out. That's not including playing this and shuffling this back in. That might have been a bit of wrong information. Something along that. A lot. That's all you need to know. It's a lot. So he's seeing the 3 Smothering Tithe, and he's realizing that he just doesn't need to pay for it anymore, I don't think. I mean, he does have 10 mana and a grip full of cards, so I'm imagining he is just going to dump it out as much as he can. Nice little, not a combo, but... Oh, my friend, my friend, my friend, my friend. Do not tell me you're going to try to use the combo of Faithless Haven and Book of Exalted Deeds. Because we do not run land destruction. No, sir, we do not. So, he's going to turn this into a creature. Okay, we have to play this one very smart now. Return target spell or non-land permanent. So he needs 3 to cast it, he needs 6, so we actually really need to take the time. We need to bounce this right now, because if he can make it so that land means that he can never lose the game, that's going to be a problem for us, because then we're relying on winning exclusively via... Oh, I forgot what it's called, the black enchantment, that if we have 10 or more treasures, we win the game. Be interesting to see how it actually works like that. What is this? So, you can't lose a game and your opponents can't win the game. It would be interesting to see what actually would happen if I have a card that says I win the game, and he has this card that says I can't win the game and he can't lose the game. Kind of interesting. Unfortunately, I don't think Faithless Haven is until end of turn, so we can't actually board wipe it, which is a problem for us. Though, hopefully, with this emergency powers, we can redraw through to Crackle with power, because if we do that, we do stand a chance of winning the game. It's very unfortunate that it's on our hand right now, because we're going to make so many treasures. Okay, this is a good one to start it off with. This is a very good one to start it off with. Yeah, let's give you 3 cards. Let's give me 9 treasures. Very nice. I do like to see it. So we got this going. Bam, 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 bam. Get them going. So he's on 53 life, and this does X times 5. So X needs to be at least 10, which is 30, 32, which we do not have nearly enough at the moment. So let's go ahead and foretell this. Let's go emergency powers once again. We are not going to give up easily to this angel deck. We are going to fight through to the bitter end. If you are enjoying these videos and you are enjoying seeing jank like this, please do consider subscribing down below, as we are nearly at 1,000 subscribers, and it would be insane if we can actually get there. Anyway, back to the games. For all 4 Smothering Tithe now on the battlefield. All of the board wipes you could possibly need. And now we nearly have enough mana to Crackle with power and actually win, though it's not in our hand, very, very sadly. So let's just see what we can get going. My man's holding priority just because of the Celestial Vault. Go ahead and drop off a Mind Stone and a land. Not going to be needing them. So we do have... We could actually keep this train going. Wait, first of all, we're going to attack in, draw through. I'm going to say we are going to commit, and then Aftermath. I think it's probably discarding commit. So it's in our graveyard, so we can play it again. Unfortunately, it is not instant speed, though that is not a big problem, I don't think. go with next block, because I would say we could Faithful Mending, but if we do draw through to a Crackle with power, it is going to be just a little bit heartbreaking to have to shuffle it away. He doesn't block in a way that actually gets rid of the Dream Trawler, which I'm not too mad about. So, how do we play this? How do we play this? Let's just send it. Sometimes in life, you just gotta send it, right? In the game, I can't believe it hasn't been banned yet. I did think it sort of got nerfed or banned to a certain degree. But there is the commit. We got another emergency powers if we want to try. I think we can actually win this turn. I really just wish that he would tap and just get this going, so he's not holding priority and we can be as fast as we would like. So we're on 49. If we just go ahead and draw a singular card, what are the odds that it is going to be Crackle with power? Probably not very likely, though I think if we did get it, we could actually win. Nope, just another board wipe. We have 2 board wipes already pre-medded, so I don't think we really need to pre-med anymore. Let's give him some more cards. Isn't this a fun deck? You get to draw, your opponent gets to draw, and then you inevitably get to smack him in the face with a lightning bolt that makes you win the game. It's pretty fun. So, again, gaining all of the mana we could possibly need. Now look at this. This is a glorious deck. This is the glorious hand. When it gets going, it absolutely gets going. And all we need now is a Crackle with power and just whip down his life total. Thing we can really hit is Mind Stone or something like that. But there is the Crackle with power. Okay, so thank you very much, calculator. I believe we might have actually got him. So this is going to go to 17. Smack him in the face, just give a blast to everything. And now, have I got my mana right? I have indeed. Crackle with power, 17 times 5, taking down the mono white angel life gain deck. Auto pay, and let's see this bolt of power just absolutely decimate our opponent. Very good game. Look at that Firestorm Tornado going into the card. Oh, it's gorgeous. 85 damage to everything. GG.